Hey, good evening, everyone. It is yours truly, Tammi B, coming to you with another session of Real Talk with Tammi B and Company, the show where we are recording live so that you beautiful people can join us in the chat via the YouTube channel. So, if you are watching via another platform and have something to say, jump over to YouTube and let us hear from you. And if you are in YouTube, please, sir, please, ma'am, please drop us a comment or a question so that you can actively engage throughout the process and I can share it with the panel and the broader audience. And one more thing before we get started, I want to ask if you are not part of our community, please join us as we are here weekly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content, to which I am always extremely grateful for you amazing people being with us along with my guests. Right now, it is my guest and I, Miss Kia Williams. Hey, Kia.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you so much.
Girl, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. Cause listen, we look, as I was saying before we started, we met what 5 months ago, and we are just
Yes,
getting you here. But
right. So
but look,
busy.
but think about it, girl. Time is flying. What did you say a minute before we started? 2025 doing what?
Yeah, so 2025 got somewhere to be.
That's the
2020.
first time that I ever heard that, but I think I'm going to pick that up and run because that's exactly what it's doing. It's moving. Time is not waiting for no man or woman for that matter
At all, at all. It is
at
unbelievable.
all. This is crazy. I mean, because literally, like like we just hit 4th of July, and what happens next? The kids go back to school. Then you have Labor Day. Then you have football season, which football season become a blur. Then that runs into Halloween. Then that runs into Thanksgiving. Then you're in Christmas. Then you're back at the start of the New Year. I'm just saying. I'm
Is
tired of saying all that.
is it bad that I'm already ready for fall though? Like I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get cozy. I'm ready for my pumpkin spice and
Hot
but
chocolate with the whipped cream on top, all that good stuff.
yes, I'm ready for all the things. Like I'm ready to be in the house and be cozy. I'm like, we're just starting summer good. Like here, summer started what 2-3 weeks ago.
Listen. If your world anything like mine, I don't even know what winter was last year. Cause girl, I was outside more than I supposed to be.
Listen, that part. Yeah, no, winter. The season. I don't know. This past year was just really interesting. It's like it's going so fast. We don't. 1 minute it's wintertime. 1 minute it's summertime. I can't believe we got that much snow this year. I was like, what? What are we doing?
Girl, look, the planet is mad. It's mad. It's like the universe is like, okay, so y'all gonna act the fool. I'm gonna act one with you. How about that?
No, it's really given that because now we got mudslides and monsoons and tornadoes and some kind of something that looks like a tornado.
Girl, look, nature keep creating some new things, don't it?
That part.
Yeah,
There's
because
some
it's
things
like, look,
happening.
mass consciousness want to create these things. I'm going to help it out. So, the interesting part, like I do a inspirational or mental health segment that I do once a month. And I've been working on the one that I'm putting up next week. And it's like mass consciousness has to wake up and realize a lot of this foolishness going on, we created it.
Yeah,
But when we weren't taught that way, we weren't taught we create our reality. So we've been taught, to go with the flow. And I get going with the flow, but sometimes you got the power to change the flow and to have the flow going the way that you want it. But
I don't think enough people talk about that, because I think everybody's kind of, not everybody, but so many people are just surface level, and there's no depth, and they say, I'm just gonna go with what I'm told and not ask questions and not challenge what's happening and think that I have a part in my life and what is happening around me, and just the collective energy. Yeah, we are in a very, very weird time collectively.
Collectively, my group consciousness is creating a lot of this. And to your point, hey Cola, welcome back. To your point, that is part of the problem. With
Mhm,
everything going on, I feel it's forcing us to start having these deep conversations, get off the surface, stop
mhm,
even looking at stuff the way that you had always been looking at it. Because as you can see, things are not like they were. And I
mm-mm,
think a lot of times people get caught up on certain things about the unchanging nature of God and things, stuff like that. But the thing
mhm,
is, God does change. Man
mhm.
has us convinced that he doesn't change, but I mean, he's still sovereign. He's still the God of love and compassion. But
Absolutely.
as time changes, he's like, okay, I put this world for y'all to enjoy, to create, to have fun, live. Don't take it so seriously. And that's another problem that creates a lot of the negativity, negative energy in the universe as well. Girl, I can go on and on because, girl, I
No,
go
yeah.
deep with it.
Listen, no, I definitely feel you. I feel like I even have to check myself, like, okay, are you in the flow? Are you in your creativity? Are you in the right energy? And yeah, because right now, in this struggle, the economy, the hustle and bustle, the energy is just bad.
It's it's bad. It's bad. And this is where
Yeah.
we really have to, I know it sounds crazy, but we got to see it from the perspective of God source. Like, okay, if we, this can change, we got to put our love on it. In fact, I was listening to a message within the last couple of days, like, we all got to love each other. Love will conquer all of this. It can
Absolutely.
change, because a lot of this is being operated out of fear and hate, and those that want to control, and the powers
Mhm.
that, I think Miss Sylvia or Miss
Don't.
that want to be, and they don't want others to be the powerful creators that they are. You got
Mhm.
people like Rockefeller don't want you to think, he just wants you to work and make
Mhm.
others rich and all that. And that's why we keep the haves and the have nots, because
Right.
people get conditioned to that. But it's time to change the conditioning. It's time to change the
Absolutely.
conditioning.
Yeah. There's
So
enough to go around.
it come on, say it again for the people in the back. Mm.
Listen, there's enough to go around. Listen.
So go to
God
the
and the
store.
universe is not on the budget. Ask for what you want. We can all have. We can all be blessed.
Yes, yes. Love, 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 love it. So let me introduce. Look, we done started a whole little chit chat, but I'm gonna go ahead and back up, put it in reverse, introduce our guest lady of the hour, or hours, however time we're here. But our guest is Miss Kia Williams. So let me tell you a little about this beautiful queen that's with us tonight. Kia is a master cosmetologist, certified hair loss specialist, and the proud owner of Swan Salon Studio. Known for her expertise in natural hair care and her deep commitment to helping women feel confident in their hair and scalp, Kia has built a thriving brand that merges beauty, wellness, and purpose. Her journey from corporate America to full time entrepreneur is a testament to her resilience, passion, and belief in trusting your instincts. That higher power we always talking about. Holding a degree in communications and media studies, Kia worked over 7 years in media before stepping into her true calling. What began as a part time styling in her apartment quickly evolved into renting a booth, then owning her own salon suite in 2017. By 2018, she launched Salon. I don't know why I keep saying that wrong, y'all. I'm tired. Studio, a space for fellow beauty professionals to house their own thriving business. In recent months, Kia's dedication to women's wellness, check this out, has expanded beyond the salon. Her personal commitment to fitness and healthy living led to the creation of Straight Outta Retirement, a fun, inclusive, cheer inspired fitness experience that began as a one-day event and blossomed into a growing community of adults who want to stay in shape, reconnect with their bodies, and have fun doing it. Whether through hair care, wellness coaching, or group fitness, Kia empowers women to reclaim their power inside and out. Welcome again,
Thank you so much,
Kia.
ladies. I appreciate you so much. Wow.
Girl, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And listen, before I ask you this question, Cola, what's good with you, my love?
Girl, you know I always got a story.
That's what this is about. Give it to us in New color in its abbreviated form.
Well, I don't always have a story, but girl, when I have one, I have one. Girl, so today I'm trying to well, first of all, hello everybody. Hello in YouTube land, Facebook land, Twitter land. Where's with TikTok?
We're on TikTok tonight if
Yeah.
it went right.
So hope everybody's doing well. Girl, so I step out the house today, getting ready to go run my errands. Girl, there's a bird, a mockingbird, that flies directly to my face
Oh my
when
God.
I step outside on my porch. And I started screaming and ducking, and I turned around and ran back in the house. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? Was it an accident or was this bird trying to attack me? What's going on? And so, girl, I just kind of went back in the house after being startled, started doing something else, doing something else. But then I noticed that the bird, I kept the door open, the bird was still on the porch, on the
Wow.
banister. And so I walked up to the door and just started watching the bird.
Hmm.
And the bird would move from this side of the porch and it would chirp. And when it chirped, when it moved to this side, it was chirping.
Mhm.
And on the other side, I would hear another chirp.
Mhm.
And I was like, what's that? Is that another bird? Okay. So I noticed when the bird that was on my porch heard the bird on the other side, the bird on my porch went to the other side where the other chirp was.
Mm-hmm.
And so she started chirping. And then I heard the chirp again. And I said, oh, this must be a mama bird who lost
Mm-hmm.
her baby bird.
Aw.
Because I was noticing every time she would chirp, I would hear echo chirp. And when she heard the chirp, she would bounce around the porch looking for the sound.
Mhm.
Girl, this was 9:10 this morning. So my sister put, so I'm like, okay, this is a mama bird trying to protect the space of the baby bird that she lost. I don't know how she lost the bird. And so I'm like, I want to help it. But of course, birds won't receive that I'm trying to help. I'd get attacked again. So my sister pulls up and I'm still trying to figure out, was this bird really trying to attack me, right? Girl, my sister come in the house. The bird attacks my sister.
It's protecting the baby.
Yeah. so, and so she decided that, so when I told her what was going on, when she ran into the house screaming and hollering, like I ran into the house screaming and hollering, I said, girl, did you see the bird just tried to attack you? She was like, yeah, what's going on? And so I explained to her what I thought was going on. So, girl, my sister then, so we decided that I wasn't going to run the errands by myself. She was going to take me on the errands. Girl, we stuck in the house trying to figure out how we're going to get out the house and keep this bird from attacking us at the same time. So we're just standing there trying to find a safe place to, go. The bird is on the porch, won't leave. It go and then it starts flying from the porch to the bush, from the porch to the bush. And my son said, "Listen, I'm just not fixing to let this bird control my day. I'm fixing to."
I was wondering when somebody was gonna warm it up.
Go say that, right? Girl, she opens the door and take off. The bird chase her to the car. Chase
Oh
her to
Lord
the
Jesus.
car. Then, so she's safe and sound in the car. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go out there too now. Girl, I'm contemplating trying. I'm like, let me find an umbrella or something just to cover my head. I don't want to get poked in the head. Couldn't find no umbrella. So, girl, I take my chances. I just shoot out the house too. The bird chasing me to the car. Girl, we gone for 3 or 4 hours, right? Come back at about, well, longer than that. Come back at about 5 o'clock. The bird is still out here, girl.
Oh.
So I have to get out the car. I'm scared to unlock the door because I don't want to be fumbling with my key trying to get in while the bird is out there. So she like, Cola, just do it. So I said, you do it for me. So she runs out the car, unlocks the door. The bird is attacking.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
Do
she
you
runs in the house.
do you have footage of this bird attacking? Because in my mind, I'm really trying to see a bird attack a
I'm
full grown human. I'm having a
Tammy, I'm
problem with
trying to tell you this bird is flying on our head, girl.
The bird
I'm
got
telling
beat.
you.
mm,
And so then, girl, listen, I run in the house. The bird does the same thing to me again. So I'm talking to y'all right now. The bird's still outside on the porch.
Oh
Yeah, and the bird is still chirping, but I don't even hear the baby chirp anymore.
no.
So I
Oh.
think the baby bird must have died.
Oh.
oh,
So Dorian's got to come home soon, and he's gonna get attacked by this bird.
girl, no, now y'all gonna see what's gonna happen to that bird that think it got control over a human. That's
Well,
what's gonna happen.
I don't wanna hurt the bird. That's the thing. I know you
You
can
ain't
fight a
gotta hurt it,
bird.
but it's just like a kid. A kid bites you, you bite it back. Then it know not to bite you no
Girl,
more.
I will kill that bird with a punch.
Oh
Well,
Lord
then
Jesus.
you
Don't
might
kill the
have
bird.
to
The,
scream.
the bird got
Anyway, so the bird is still out there now. I'm just hoping this is over with tomorrow.
that is so wild.
Maybe to rain the bird away. I don't know. Oh gosh.
I just never been attacked by a stray bird or just a bird, period. Like a bird. And then I saw the bird girl is running squirrels out the yard and across the street. It just doesn't want anybody in the
Oh, he
yard
a
at
thug.
all.
This bird is a
A
thug.
thug, yes, it is running squirrels out of the yard. So
Oh
Listen.
anyway,
yeah, wow.
what mamas what mamas do for their babies, animals as well. Mama
Of
animals.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nature is
We're
attacking.
protectors, girl. So look, somebody put in the chat. Thank you, Ivy Marie. She says she's loving the pink. So here's the
No.
thing. The pink wasn't planned. Although what's interesting, I changed to a pink flyer for the first time. So it's crazy how this all came together. So Kia popped on first with pink. Cola popped on second with pink, and I was sitting here with black. And I was not going to be the only one in black. So that's how the pink came about. So, yes. So, look, Shelly
Coordination.
is in here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Shelly is in here with us. Cola, look, somebody said it's funny, but sorry, the bird is in attack. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I hate it for the bird too, but I hope the baby
Mhm.
is okay. Okay, so listen, the question that I will I'm going to ask tonight. The question I'm going to ask tonight, I'm going to ask myself first. There's a reason for this.
Okay.
The question is, and y'all know I never answer the question, so it's it's a method behind this. So the question tonight is, Tammy, what is your phobia that you struggle with?
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
going to state why I'm saying that because that was not my original question, but somewhere in the Indian state of Gujarat, a 40-year-old bridge collapsed today and several lives were lost. So may they rest in power. So I'm going to share my phobia, which is bridges. Or I guess I'm going to say height. I'm going to say bridges that go up because my son witnessed it firsthand with me a couple weeks ago when we went to Niagara Falls. Um, when I tell you, I was driving, right? I had that gangster lean going on. I'm riding. I saw that bridge come. I went up. I hit 10 into a clock. The speedometer might have dropped down to 45 miles per hour. And I swear, I think somewhere in there, I turned the music down, if not. And I
Oh,
started looking straight ahead. And and then my son gonna have the nurse to say to me, "Look over there at the water." I said, "Shut up, Tevin." And kept
oh,
looking.
Did
oh,
you know you had a bridge phobia?
Girl, I have a whole bridge phobia. I
But
do.
did you know that? Did you know that prior to this?
I did, but I didn't
Okay.
realize what I was going up against when I got over there. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think he was gonna have to cross a bridge to get to Niagara Falls from New York. I didn't know. And then it was
yeah.
worse when I was in VA last month. I end up on this road, and y'all, oh thank God, my angels, they love me. Cause when I tell you that bridge went up, and oh, I said, wait a minute, I am not in San Francisco. Why is this bridge going up and high like this? Oh my God, I must have dropped that thing down to 25 miles per hour. Thank God wasn't nobody behind me. Yes, so look,
Mm.
y'all know my little phobia. So, what's yours? In fact, before you ladies answer, viewers, what's your phobia, or do you have one? Because I look, I just lost my little cool points by telling mine. Because Lord, and I left out. We had the nerves to do a hot air balloon. I got him. I got on that thing. I thought I was
That's
gonna
a
be
good
okay.
one.
I got on it. The man made the mistake of saying, don't move around because you got, or if you do, the weight has to be evenly distributed. So stand still in one place. So once he said that, I froze again.
Cause if that thing would rock the way, my heart would be in my stomach. If I'm on an air balloon suspended all the way into heaven, and then this thing is going, no, I would be sick.
Girl, I'm serious. My son, he witnessed all this firsthand. Cause yeah, I was sick, girl. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stand here. And then I even stopped. I make myself look up, and then I just look down.
Like, oh yeah, no. What
Oh,
topic?
okay. Okay. So before y'all answer, the chat has told me. So somebody says, is it a bridge phobia or a driving phobia? Because all that scares me, the driving. The driving. No, it's not a driving. Remember, I was gangster leaning, but then I switched to
Mhm.
10 into a clock, sitting straight up like I was Grandma Joe, too. And then somebody said, mine is singing in public, and they are working on it. So good luck to you on that. Somebody added, I would not say it's a phobia, but I don't like clowns. And somebody added, right? I do not like clowns. They scare me. So, Kia, what's your
That's a
phobia?
phobia.
That
That's a
is.
Yeah,
phobia.
yeah. I don't know what it's called, but that's definitely a phobia. Mine is I'm kind of claustrophobic, and I've tried to like grow out of it, but I get scared being in like elevators by myself. Y'all, it's so bad that like if there's a gas station and I gotta go in this gas station bathroom, I'm
Mhm.
scared to get trapped inside. Like I will make like if I'm dating somebody or if I got a homegirl, come in this bathroom with me while because I'm scared to get trapped in the bathroom or scared to get trapped on the elevator. Like I don't know what it is, but getting trapped in confined spaces, like the idea of it, even like going through a car wash for that brief minute where it's like, okay, I'm in the car wash. There's no way to really get out of the car wash. Yeah, so tight spaces. Yeah, I get a little claustrophobic.
What about you,
Yeah.
Cola?
It definitely heights.
Heights.
Heights, period. But I don't know what it's happened as I gotten older. There was a time when I wanted the highest, craziest roller coaster, the highest. I want to go to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
But now, girl, I can't do it. I have gone to, you know how you have to get in a long line when you, if you at a theme park or something like that. Girl, I have stood in line for 2 hours just to go all the way to the top and look down and turn around and say, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I don't know what's happened. But definitely heights and that bridge thing, that too, all of that just, it like came all of a sudden.
Right.
I hate doing bridges. I will do it, but I hate doing them.
That's
Yes.
valid because definitely the older I've gotten, I'm like, yeah, like I literally was in Costa Rica with family. Everybody went zip lining. I said, I'll hold the stuff while y'all go zip lining.
That's how I
Literally,
feel about
seven
those.
family members, and I'm sitting with all the stuff until they finish because I'm not getting on it. No. Mm-mm.
And you know, I we did a zip line too, but I was like, I'm so glad this is in the dark because we were in the woods in the dark. They had a whole zip
Oh,
line
that's
thing going
nuts.
on in the dark.
That's
Oh yeah,
probably
this is
worse.
to me
Yeah.
it wasn't because I couldn't see. I couldn't see, and I mean, we were in the woods, and it was pitch black, and I was like, I am so glad I cannot see because we can't. If you zip line, you know, sometimes they'll have levels like first you'll do 20 feet, then 40 feet, then 80 feet, then 100 feet. So it was like that, and we just kept getting higher, and so I can tolerate 20, okay, and then so I can tolerate 40. Now 80, 100. I was like, if it was daytime, I certainly wouldn't be doing this, but because I can't see it, I'm good.
Mm-mm. No, dropping into the abyss and I can't see if something is about to jump on me. No, absolutely not. What?
Well, for some reason, the unknown, not being able to see and not knowing, made it better.
Oh
So,
gosh. Oh, that made it worse for me. Like, is that a spider? Ah! Like, oh, no. A bat just flew at my face. Like, no.
yeah.
See, yeah, yeah. Listen, y'all, I'll look.
Mm-mm.
I can't say insanity, but I could say insanity. You know, hey, I went skydiving. Still don't know how I did it. I did it.
And I was gonna say, you a gangster if you are afraid of heights, but you would tell me they couldn't pay me enough to go skydiving. I don't care if somebody was paying me 5,000, 10,000. I probably do it for 20, but no less than that. You are a gangster if you can skydive and you're afraid of heights,
Nope, not doing that either.
right?
Hard
But
pass.
hold on. Listen, I almost backed out of it, but it was during COVID, so I was just like, well, shoot, bump it. I'm just gonna go. So
Girl, I
I went.
probably would have had a heart attack mid-air.
Yeah.
But look, somebody put in the chat, nope, not zip lining again. Once was enough. And then somebody said, I will do all that. I'm not sure if the all that is hold the bags. Because Kia, I'm with you. I have always told people I will go to the roller coaster with you and I'll be waiting for you on the end when y'all get back.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell y'all real quick. In fact, Cola, we will be together in Orlando next weekend. And my uncle daddy down there, Uncle Moses, let me tell y'all how he got me into what was this 2014, my last time. We went to Universal Studio and they have a roller coaster, rocket socket roller coaster.
Mm.
And my uncle, he's an adrenaline junkie.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, okay, uncle, I don't do roller coasters, but because you my daddy, I'm gonna do this with you. And we standing in the line and I'm looking. I said, wait a minute. This thing finna take us straight up and drop us. This
Mm-mm.
him. This him. No, it's not gonna do that. Oh, this thing on the other side is getting ready to take us straight up and drop us. No, no, no. It's not gonna drop. It's gonna swerve. Okay, all right. Y'all, I got in that roller coaster. They give you the option to put music in your ear to distract you. So I'll never forget. I put on Donna Summer's Bad Girls.
Oh
I
God.
don't care if Donna Summers, the angels in heaven. I never opened my eyes. I felt
Mm-mm.
every movement of the thing. And I got off and I said, this is the absolute last time anybody get me on a roller coaster like that, unless it's the kiddie roller coaster. I'm done.
Mm-mm.
Girl, let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go on. So we have a gosh, what is it? There's a theme park here in Indiana, Holiday World. And we were going every summer when the kids were here. And girl, let me tell you, at least 3 times in a row, the kids tricked me and got me on it each year. They had a plan where they would distract me as we were going to it. And then, like I'm talking, I talk. Tell me, I talk. So I'm in the line, and then we get up here on this thing. And the first time they got me, second year they got same thing. They got me 3 times in a row. But girl, fourth year, they thought they had me. I wasn't going after that. But I would get so scared on these rides. I remember one time I was on this, it's called the elevator. Girl, there was a man sitting next to me. Look, Tammy, look, y'all. Pretend like this is this man's face. I don't even know this white man. I grabbed his face from the other side of his cheek, pressed his face up against my I was screaming, girl. I took his face and pressed it up against mine. We were cheek to cheek, and I was screaming, girl. And look, I just lose control. Girl, I be fighting for dear life.
Girl,
That makes
look,
it.
I'm
And I
like,
had to look at him. I said, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. He was red in the face. He was red in the face. Joy was like, Colin, you are crazy. But hey,
hey,
the things you do when you're scared.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, that is hilarious. That is
Yes,
hilarious,
girl.
boy. And you know
Yeah.
what? I am an adrenaline junkie. I love cars, fast cars. So I've always wanted to go to Germany and drive on the Autobahn because I've always wanted to see what does it feel like to do 200 miles per hour in a car.
Mm-mm.
But I think I've lost interest in doing that.
Mhm.
I think I might have hit. I think I might. Well, the cars here they computer out, but I think I might have hit 130, and I said I think I'm gonna take it right there. I think that's it. So, because like if I don't know, if you don't know how to drive on the autobahn, and they got them cliffs and stuff, I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave the autobahn alone. I'll let somebody else do the driving. But I sure
Mhm.
wanted to do that. Okay, so somebody put in the chat, I will still do coasters, but bridges scare me. Yeah, they scare. See, yeah, those things they are. And then somebody like, oh, and this same person. Okay, so this is one of the people that I went skydiving with, Avi Marie. She's like, oh my God, yes, skydiving and caps, never again. Check, been there, done that. Yeah. And see, mind you now, my butt was almost 50. They in their 30s. Okay. They're in their 30s. In fact, I don't even think my youngest had reached 30 at that time. So my butt is the one that was like, what are you doing? This midlife crisis that you got going on.
Body is like,
All right,
no.
this has been so fun. Okay, so keeping the fun going, well, the cuteness. So today, the fun food of today is National Sugar Cookie Day. I ain't a fan of sugar cookies. What about you guys?
Nah.
Okay, good, good. Give me some chocolate chip, white chocolate chip, macadamia.
Doodle. Yeah, it's kind of a sugar.
Yeah, snookle, yeah, all that good stuff. But yeah, I ain't a fan of sugar cookie. Oh, somebody put the autobahn is fun with someone else driving. Facts. Yeah.
Yeah, she can drive good.
Yeah. Fast and the Furious. Okay, and so also today to all my fashionistas out there, today is Fashion Day. So isn't this cute? We were fashionably pink today, ladies, and didn't even know it.
Right. Ain't that something? We tapped into something.
We
That
tapped
part.
into something without even knowing it. Okay, all right. So you know what? I wanted Shelly on the call for this question that I'm gonna ask before we start diving into the questions that I have, and letting Kia tell about herself. But I just wanted to put this late and look. That's why I wanted Shelly because I wanted a man's perspective. But since he ain't here to defend the men, so ladies, I just want to ask this question. And chat, y'all can jump in with us as well. Why do people choose to be disrespectful? Meaning, if you tell someone you're in a relationship, whether you are or not, usually that's a polite way of saying, I'm not interested. Why follow up with stupid stuff like I can be your secret lover or something stupid like that?
Yeah.
Look, in my ESPN voice, come on, man. So
Mm.
why does these shenanigans still continue? I just wanted to pose this to the panel tonight before we dive in.
Well, women they say the same thing to me and the same stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't got to be the main one. I like it that way. You can do what you,
No,
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it that way.
That's a reflection
But
of
yeah,
that's a what, Kia?
character. That just lets you know, run far from this person. They don't have no kind of morals, integrity, so run far. Run the other way.
hmm
Exactly.
hmm
Y'all know I'm posing this because this is an experience that I just recently had. So,
girl,
and
we have all had that. Me
but
and
no,
Will,
I'm just talking about
honey,
I'm just talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
a couple of days
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So my whole thing is for you to say that to me. This is why relationships and people are still not able to come together because that's toxic. You
Mm-hmm.
willing to tell somebody you'll be their secret lover, like, so everybody is not out here just for sex. Okay, let's just start there. Okay. And second of all, I had to say to him, I said, well, respectfully, I'm a transformational speaker. And that energy that you putting out there, that's the stuff that needs to change. So that's why I said I wanted to bring this to the table because I just feel this stuff needs to stop. We
Yeah.
don't come together as a collective whole if we keep operating this way. We
Mm-hmm.
need to respect each other's relationships
Yeah.
from both perspectives. You're right. The women shouldn't be, like back in the day with the ball players that, when you watch Love and Basketball, the guy talk about how some of the women, sneak into the hotel and then you get those brave ones that will make it all the way to their room. Like, come on. Like, this energy really needs to change. Any comments?
I wonder, is this something we can change? Like, do we just need to leave those people behind? Because to me, that's a reflection of self control and accountability. And some people just ain't got it. It's almost like common sense where some people have it and some people don't. And when it comes to self respect and morals and boundaries, some people just don't have it. And
That's
who
true.
raised you?
That's true. And you're right. You do leave them alone, but you still keep that love and light energy out, like hoping people will, do better.
Oh,
I
fix
think we have to.
them.
I think we have to do both, and having conversations like this
Mhm.
Mm,
helps because you don't know how many people are listening and they might spark an idea.
mm.
Well, help them look at something from a different perspective. And then some people who just don't get it, then those are the ones you have to leave behind. So some you got to leave, but you still got to talk about it at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like she said, it's an issue with accountability. And what did you say? Accountability, and what was the other one?
Character.
Integrity.
Integrity. And and another thing is value. We don't value relationships, and not just relationships. Let me say this: we don't value monogamy anymore.
Mm.
Ooh,
We don't value monogamy, and we don't value monogamy because we live in a world where having multiple women and men having multiple women, it's a notch on their belt. And for women, now back in the day, that wasn't a notch on a woman's belt, but now it's I gotta get my bag. I gotta get in my bag, you know. And like the women are taking on the attitude that the men are taking on,
yeah.
and it's crazy. So we're losing. So we're hearing this in music. Then we seeing these, folks on Instagram, IG talking about I got to get my bag by any means necessary, and giving hoeing an excuse like I do whatever it takes to feed my family. That's not the only option, ma'am.
Come
Mm.
on.
That's
Say
not
that
the only
again.
option.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I
That's
think
not the only option.
it's definitely like Tammy said, people don't respect monogamy anymore. I was in the store one day and this guy, you know how guys do, they're like, oh, I saw you when you coming in, and then somehow I keep running into you in the store. So he comes up to me, and so, I'll engage in conversation. I start looking at his hands to see if there's a ring. And he was like, oh, no, I'm not married. I see you looking. And I said, well, do you want to see if I have any rings? He said, I already looked. I said, okay, that's cute. We exchanged numbers. Don't y'all know, about an hour later, this man said, I saw you looking, and yeah, I am married. What? Like,
Well, check this out. Hold on. What about when you out looking for somebody to cheat on your wife with? When you out intentionally looking for a side piece. So, girl, I was at this birthday. One of my friends invited me to a birthday party.
mm-hmm,
This some guy she invited. He was her friend. I didn't know him. So we sitting at the table, and he just keep on throwing out. I need a side piece. Mm.
and that's supposed to be, that's an insult. Like,
Right? Who gonna sign up for that?
I look side piece worthy to you?
Exactly, girl. He keep on throwing out. He need a side piece. Like, I'm married, but I need a side piece. I'm like, what? So then,
Yeah.
so I just act like I never even hear him. I really don't address it, you know. But I'm thinking, like, what? This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
that is.
crazy.
But
Or
you
Like,
know
you
well,
what?
intentionally looking. You're out, and it's almost like you taking applications because you're throwing it out there.
All right, because
Like, yeah, I'm married, but
yeah,
I need a survivor.
girl. But look, Cola, it doesn't help that you got the song out there. What you got to have one woman to hold you down, one woman to build you up, and one woman on the side that really don't give a, So
yeah,
it don't help when you got stuff out there like that that's
I
telling
agree.
you that that
That's
that
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's in songs. We sing about it. It's in the media. People do not respect monogamy anymore. And it's so sad because in rejecting monogamy, you're tearing that's one domino effect that leads to the next. So what's happening with families now? What's happening with two-parent households?
I agree.
What's happening with the kids that have that father who is with every woman, and what happens to the kids when their mom is with Tom, Dick, and Harry? Like, we're damaging our own seeds, and then we want to preach something else to them, yet we're doing something ourselves. So we're breaking down our own homes, with the lack of value that we have for monogamous relationships these days. And then it's a thing too. People are really starting to they're more polygamous in America, and they want to contribute that back to our African culture. And that we did practice polygamy back, in that culture, and in fact, some still do. But I think what we have to do is, for those who practice polygamy, really, really, really be honest and ask, is it really working? And is everybody in the relationship truly happy?
And can you afford it?
And can you afford it? But even if you can't afford it, okay, let's say you can afford it. Are you happy?
No, are you happy? Yeah.
Is every woman in that relationship happy?
Mm-hmm.
No, because a lot of times they just going along to get along, and that's almost like an arranged form of marriage. So if you with somebody and you having to share them, that's a problem. And also too, I this might be a
But
little,
people like to say you don't own people.
Yeah, you don't
and you
own
don't
people, but at
own
the same
them, but if
time,
you're committed to them, you're supposed to respect that commitment and that vow if that's what you take.
yeah,
It's not about owning anybody. It's about, if you're my partner, then you're my partner. Because I don't care, even the healthiest of persons, when you sharing saliva and JJs and penises and stuff like that, you got bacteria, yeast going back and forth. Stop playing, call it out.
So, but here's the thing too. Even with that physical part, energetically,
Oh yeah, that's
a
terrible.
woman can be a woman's pH is going to be thrown off balance. There's a couple of ways to tell if your man is cheating on you. One, if you constantly having yeast infections and your body, you are eating all the right things, you're wearing the right clothes, but for some reason you always having yeast infections. But that's if your body's in balance.
He just dirty in
Yeah,
general. And
that's if your now, but this is if your body is in balance. Now, I'm not saying I don't want nobody go running saying, oh, because you get yeast infection on a regular basis, mean your man is cheating. No, not that. When
Mm-mm.
your body, when you're eating the right foods and your body is in a healthy pH balance, but you still keep getting yeast infections, and it seems to be a couple of days after you have sex with your man all the time,
Mm-hmm.
he's
That's
cheating. When you have BV for no apparent reason, he's cheating. And so what's happening is there's an energetic shift that's being thrown off. Our sacred area down there, there's an energy that goes there. And when your man is dipping and diving in everybody else's energy, it
bringing it back.
throws you off balance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can only imagine what goes on in a relationship where there's three women involved,
I don't want to imagine.
or even two. Because I mean, honestly, that's a spiritual and an energy thing. That's a spiritual and an energy thing. And if that's a constant, you going from her to her to her, then her, then her, then her, then her, then her, then her, and you got periods involved. Then not that you having sex while you're on your period, not that, but even
Please, I've
like
heard
afterwards. Yeah,
I've
some
heard
people
people
do,
still do that. Yeah.
but you're constantly bouncing. That's gonna throw your shift off, your energy off. You
Mm.
know,
I agree.
so it's like I imagine using somebody else's toothbrush all the time. Somebody else.
Oh,
I mean, think about it. It's your
I
toothbrush
got you. I
going in your
got you.
mouth.
I got you.
don't
I got
use my
you.
toothbrush.
Yeah, no,
That's your.
but you know
Even
what?
if you rinse it, even if you clean the toothbrush, this is still the oral cavity, like your vagina is the oral cavity.
Yeah,
Right.
I
You're
Yeah.
right.
agree.
As a matter of fact, long years ago, this been 20 plus years ago, I recall reading a saying where it was an article or something where the lady said it's interesting how women will not share underwear but share the same man.
That is true, but again, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't believe in polygamy, but again, people will say that being with one person, your mind is like like that. That's ownership. You're showing ownership, and no one owns anyone.
No, we don't. In fact, somebody put in the chat though, well, not in fact, but somebody put in the chat, people ain't happy being monogamous. Well, you haven't probably met the right monogamous person because
Yeah,
listen, monogamy is so beautiful when it's with the right person
yeah,
because you're on the same vibe frequency, you loving each other, you're respecting each other, you're communicating with each other, you having fun with each other, you're traveling, you seeing the world, you're doing things together. You can even be just at peace, just sitting on the couch watching TV. You
yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
there. People complicate relationships and situations based on what you just said, Cola. I got to get the bag, or I'm trying to get another notch under my belt. Those are all the wrong reasons to really be in a situation. So
Mm-hmm.
if that's the focal point, then no, you won't be happy being monogamous because you got another agenda. So
Yeah,
when you switch the agenda and come into what it really is about, it's about one, what did God say? It's not good that man should be alone. We were created to be their helpmate, were we to be with each other. And that there has been so much division between us, even on social media. It's a lot of men against women and women dogging men. And, all that needs to dead. We need to dead all that because there's no value add in any of that behavior. Now, that's just my 2 cents on the story. So,
Well, it's true. You have to, in order to enjoy monogamy, first you have to go in with an honest and a pure mindset,
yeah.
yes.
and a honest and a pure mindset. And a pure mindset, meaning, and a pure heart, being a pure space, like I mean well by this person. I want to do right by this person. I want to respect this person. I want to build a a relationship based on honesty and based on love with this individual. If a man can go into a relationship like that with no hidden agenda, I'm in it for really because she got this good career and she can, she can hold it down, or maybe I like her, she good in every area, but I'm still gonna do my thing because that's what men do. But when a man can go in with, of course, it takes some maturity. It takes some maturity.
Agree. That part.
Yeah, but when he can come in and say, no, I really want to give this an honest try.
Yeah.
I really want to do right by her. I really want to love her the way a man is supposed to love and support a woman. I want to support her and honor this woman the way that she should be honored as my woman. And
Mhm.
then when the woman can go in the relationship the same way, saying, I want to do right by him and I want to honor him, in which the man, I'm supposed to honor my man. So
Mhm.
if both of them can come in like that, and that is their mindset and their mind frame, and they have good intentions toward one another, you're creating something there. You're
Absolutely.
really creating something.
Absolutely. And that's the
Yeah.
word. You said the word that I was waiting for you to finish, that I was going to say. It's all about the intentions. Whatever, I mean,
Hmm.
of course, the purity of heart. It's the purity of heart. But, if you set the right intentions, you can
Hmm.
make anything happen that you desire. So,
Uh-huh. And
just
when two people can do that and come together, oh my God. That doesn't mean it's gonna be perfect. You're gonna have your ups and downs, but even when you have your downs, you'll still be able to work it out because you both have good and honest intention from one another. One is not trying to outdo one another. One is not trying to get over on the other. They're willing to make sacrifices for one another. So when you come in with good, both people come in with good intentions, you
Mhm.
can create a powerhouse.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? I think, well, one, it's probably good Shelly isn't on here because this conversation would probably it would probably go on and on dealing
We
with
got to go with nature. We got to
yeah.
go with nature. That ain't how God made man to be. That's not
Yeah, that's
nature.
the position.
Oh no, he would
Shelly is
say
a
that.
caveman. Kia Shelly is a caveman. Everything is about how that was made in nature. But here's the thing. I am going to re-ask that question next week because next week is men's only. It's the third Wednesday of the month, and third Wednesday of the month, I only have men on the panel talking. Cola
Wow.
and I are really here in observation. Of course, I'll ask questions, but we want to hear what they have to say. So that's an opportunity for questions like this to get asked so we can hear. So I'm going to ask them this question next week. And we have an addition that's going to be joining us as well, another guest, male guest. That's going to be a part of it. All right. So this has been a great talk, ladies. I am loving this. So, but let me go ahead because Kia, I have a couple questions for you because our topic tonight is the power of the pivot, wellness, purpose, and reinvention. Tell us about that, my dear.
Okay. So I would say I'm like a pivot princess. I'm not gonna call myself the queen, but I will pivot until I can't pivot anymore. So I went to college initially for media studies. I started in radio and television, film, and I just wasn't happy. I was like, okay, I'm here. I did what I was supposed to do. Your parents tell you go to college, get a job, whatever, and I wasn't happy. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to cosmetology school. Now, initially, I was turning 30, and everybody's having their 30th birthday trip, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, this corporate job ain't enough to pay for all these trips. Like, I need some money, and so
Right.
I was like, okay, I got a side hustle, and then I started doing hair in my apartment, and I just found I was happier just doing hair. So I said, you know what? It's time. And I just kind of gave myself that permission that okay, I did it my parents' way. Now it's time to do it my way. Went to cosmetology school, and I've just always been somebody like if it's not working, all right, let's figure out what can we change and add. Like I'm a solutions person. So okay, this isn't working anymore. Let's try something different. And that's kind of just been my journey. Initially, I started with a 3-chair salon, and that environment was just kind of weird. I found that my clients like more of a one-on-one intimate setting. And, you don't really want to listen to somebody else's conversation, or you don't want to, because when you go to the hair salon, that's your therapy, and you want to be able to speak candidly. And, or if you're having some issues that you're embarrassed about, you don't want anybody to see that. And so, like, because imagine you on FaceTime and you in the salon and you showing everybody, other women getting their hair done. Like, so pivoted, and that's how the salon suite was born. So yeah, I just roll with the punches. Whatever is coming at me, I'm like, okay. But I couldn't have imagined that COVID was going. That I did not.
Nobody could imagine COVID. No one saw that one coming. Except who was it? Was it Bill Gates or one of those billionaires predicted that there was going to be a virus that was going to kill thousands
Well, he said that it could because of the way viruses act, that there was a possibility that in the future something like that could happen. Yeah.
and it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened. It's almost like the
Yeah.
prediction of from The Simpsons. They say a whole lot of Simpsons episodes have become
But the
reality.
thing, but you got to think, but before COVID, do you know they were making movies about viruses that traveled around the world? Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, I forgot one movie, what it's
I know what you
called.
I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
too.
There
I
was a
can't think of
show
it.
on Netflix, like Outbreak or something like that, right before COVID. And I
Yeah.
remember binging that whole series, and then COVID happened. It was like, wait a minute, this show just completely happened.
Listen, people don't understand what we were talking about earlier. Consciousness. You put enough energy into something, even though it is, you might not even think anything of it. But if that thing gets enough momentum in the universe, that thing can manifest. Because
Yeah,
you don't put up resistance. Anytime you
yeah,
throw something out into the universe without resistance, you're almost sure to see it come back.
right,
So we
absolutely.
got to be careful. So a lot of people were focusing their attention on that, and that's what happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, but wow, but back to your story, that so it sounds to me like you started living your purpose.
Yeah, and I feel like God always gives us like natural talents. You're always born with something. And hair was that for me. My grandmother was a hairstylist, and I always knew how to do it. But because I was doing what I was told, I was going against the grain. And so I wasn't happy. And so I didn't feel fulfilled until I just pursued my natural purpose. Like, okay, this is what comes natural to me. It's easy, it flows. And I just felt better, not only when I'm sitting here making these women feel good from their appearance, but also, you know, uh oh, uh oh.
I'm sorry. Kim, we sorry. Kim, me, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly. How are
Hello,
you?
nice meeting you. Good.
Nice to see you as
Please
well.
forgive my tardiness.
Oh,
Please.
No
Shelly, you actually are right on time
Okay.
because let me tell you, the talk that we just had that we're not circling back to,
Mhm.
I think we would still be having if you were here.
Okay, well, I'm glad. So please continue, Miss Kia. I'm sorry.
Guys, I feel like I need to turn the light on. I didn't anticipate the sun was going to go down so fast. Do I need to
Oh, you can turn
actually?
it on if you want to, but you need to get
Yeah,
up to
I'm
do
sorry,
it.
y'all.
Shelly, where you
Yeah.
at? Because you're not home. Where you
I
at,
am. This
Shelly?
is my backyard. I just turned around.
Ah,
You
hey,
know,
Shelly backyard.
I
So,
know.
Shelly,
Yeah.
so real quick, we were ragging you last week because we was like, we knew Shelly wasn't gonna be on here on Wisdom Wednesdays with the Queens. So yeah, we was cracking up at the app at your absence. Yeah.
Well, I apologize. I'm never absent, so it was a good
Oh,
reason.
we do it in fun.
So
We
y'all
love
was
you.
talking bad about me behind my back.
Nah, we weren't talking bad because if you play the recording, you hear
She's
everything.
telling you now.
I was gonna say it if you admit it. Is it talking behind your back?
Exactly.
That's right.
All
But
right.
I'm sorry. Did you get my text? You didn't answer my text.
I swear to God, I didn't get it.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would have, but I've been waiting
Did
on
you?
one from you.
Okay. Well, nothing on the last show. I mean, I'm make it quick. Did you hear me call you a hold up a barbarian?
A
What I
beast. What
call
you said
a
Shelly is a
beast?
beast.
She said, watch your wife, your kids, everybody. Shelly's a beast. He don't care how old you is. He don't care how young you is. That's what she said. Verbatim.
And I took all that. I took some of it back
Yeah. But it's
because
okay.
all of it is not true. All of it is not true.
Okay.
The caveman part is though. No, just kidding.
Anyway, what was Kia saying? I'm sorry. Because I'm going to start
All
again.
I gotta say is he's a real man's man. Goodness gracious. To the core. To the core. To the core.
Seed it and breed
Yes, and you ain't lying.
Yeah.
it. Now, what was Kia saying?
Kia was
Miss
telling us
Kia?
about her journey into her purpose.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Kia, if you could remember where you left off at. If not, you can start somewhere else.
Just overall, I found that instead of just doing what society tells me I'm supposed to do, I ended up finding my purpose and helping women and talking to them one-on-one. And so many of my clients, there's a big responsibility in being a hairstylist, and people, I love that they leave feeling like, okay, I feel like I had a therapy session. I feel good. Like I look good. I feel good. I feel like I've just hung out with my home girl for a few hours. And so, yeah, even though, it's just one person at a time, I'm glad that I help people.
And you know what? Can I tell you, I love and respect you. In fact, I need to make an appointment with you. That's a shame. It's been 5 months since we've seen each other. Y'all, time is flying. But I
Listen.
love that about my hairstylist as well because she does it in her basement and it's just her. Because I remember back in the day, I have spent 6, 7 hours at a hair salon on Saturday. You got that girl that be booking everybody at the same time. So it don't even matter if you get there first. You get there at 2 o'clock for a 6 o'clock appointment. You still gonna be waiting because she gonna be working on you and talking to everybody else at the same time. And so I just that cringes my soul. That
Yeah.
that cringes my soul. Don't like it.
Yeah. And when I first got into the industry, I knew I didn't really want to be that person because I experienced it, and I feel like that was one of the number one complaints is that everybody don't want to be in the salon all day. And I'm honestly surprised that traditional salons still exist because nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to spend their entire afternoon or day in the
I
salon.
don't think they're doing it that way anymore. I think literally they're probably giving themselves like 2 hours or
Mm-hmm.
three, depending on what need to be done.
The one
Yeah.
that I was
You
talking
know.
about, I hear she still do it. And
Really?
this from 20 plus years ago. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, but no, that I mean, it's more professional. You just
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's about profession. You servicing your clients. In fact, like you know, I think I would try to make my appointments on like a Thursday or something because I'd rather give that time to Thursday than to give my Saturday away. Like that was and at that time I was actively going to church on Sundays. So, if you don't spend 6, 7 hours in the church, you don't work Monday through Friday, then you gonna be in church on Sunday, and then you 6 or 7 hours at the hair salon. No, man, that was too much.
Yeah.
That was too much. So, but I am so glad that you were inspired to continue your journey in something that you wanted to do. So, tell us about straight out of retirement. What started it, and why do you think it's resonating with so many adults right now?
So straight out of retirement started as a joke. So one of my girlfriends, we would be talking about like, girl, I'm getting older. My metabolism is changing, but I don't want to just go to the gym. Like that's boring. I don't want to go to Pilates all the time, but I still want to be cute. And we jokingly said, like, man, if we could just go to cheerleading practice. And so it started as a joke. And I said, oh, I'm going to do it like a 1-day thing and see if anybody comes. So I called my childhood cheerleading. I was a competitive cheerleader all throughout high school. And so I called her and she said, oh, I can't wait to see this. She said, y'all gonna look crazy. Y'all 40 years old and y'all about to be running around like little kids. So she laughed at me. And then it ended up being a hit. And they were like, oh man, like we got to do this like twice a month. So it just, people needed a break from adulting. People are tired. Like I had to tell some of the girls coming, like, y'all married with kids. Like I don't even have time to do this more than 2 days a month. Like what? Like, but people just need an escape. And I don't know. It's just everybody's so overwhelmed with life. And so that's kind of how it came to be. It's fun, but it allows us to stay active because listen, our bodies are changing, hormones, everything. And we like, okay, we got to figure this out.
Girl. And look, I try to use the power of visualizing myself with a healthy body.
Exactly. Listen, in my head, I'm still that 17-year-old girl that can run around and do all the things. So if I just think in my head, that part,
all that,
yeah,
all that. But you know what? To that point, y'all, Psycho-Cybernetics is a long book, and I thought The Science of Mind was a long book, but Psycho-Cybernetics, I just realized I think I might have been listening to this book for about almost 3 months now, but that's also a testament to how fast time is going by too, because I think that's playing a part in it. But I was just listening to a section this morning where it's like, as you think, we know the scripture says, as you think in your heart, so are you. And so it's like, if you kind of have yourself thinking, if I reach a certain age, I'm going to be old, then guess what? When you reach that certain age, you're going to be old. So if you kind of gather the mindset that, as you get older, in fact, they said it on The Secret, the book, the documentary, The Secret, instead of saying you getting older, say you're getting younger. You're aging in reverse. It's like, it's little subtle things like that can really make a difference. So to your point, as the 40-year-old cheerleaders, hey, in spirit, you can be 25. I mean, you might want to be mindful of what moves you make.
Trust me, we feel it in our bodies.
Right. Exactly. Because let me tell you, I just realized, well, maybe, I don't know if it's because I have a plate in my ankle or what, but right now my heel is hurting, and that's because I was wearing some flats the other day, and that concrete in the flats. So yeah, I'm like, I can't wear flat shoes too much like that no more. So I have been wearing sneakers a lot lately. So that's why I missed this trauma that was coming on to my foot. And I messed around like 2 days in a row, wore flats, and I was like, yeah, I cannot do that. If shoes don't have no kind of cushion, I cannot be bothered with it. Our bodies, it changes,
And I think we need to have more conversations about that and be honest about, my body's changing. I can't do what and really help each other, because I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, I feel like previous generations just suffered in silence and didn't talk about what they were going through. Even with me getting into hair loss, I feel like for generations, we didn't know why grandma and auntie wore their wigs and everything. And we didn't know that they were suffering from the same things that men, are suffering from, that, hormonal hair loss. And if we're not having these conversations, how can we overcome this stuff? I mean,
I think they looked at it like those things to them were normal. Like when you get old, this is what happens. You get arthritis. And then listen, when people would have high blood pressure, diabetes, I remember my grandmother just saying, well, she's sick. She's sick. And I would be like, when I think sick as a little girl, I'm thinking a cold, and that's something that you get over, or a stomach ache and you eventually get over. But these people were sick. My grandmother, well, he's sick. Well, he can't get around. He's sick. And they were sick for 15 years.
Girl,
So
they had sugar.
They had sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelly had a question. Go for it, Shelly.
Of course.
They didn't have the knowledge
Absolutely.
or the access to the knowledge, so they could only go off whatever
Absolutely.
down to them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so those things, because they didn't have the knowledge for such a long time, and there were no real, I mean, we didn't have the acute medicines that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
They just thought there was just a normal thing. So not saying that to bash the older generations before us,
Yeah.
because they're the reason why we are where we are today learning. But there was a time and period in which the access wasn't there, the knowledge wasn't there. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that a majority of people are just in, like, I think majority of people today are in denial, like they want a quick result. They don't want to put in the work, or they don't understand it comes from diet and things
Yeah.
like that. They
Yeah.
want a kind of get rich quick scheme. So
Yeah.
even people that seek help, like exercising, and I'm pretty sure a part of your class, they don't understand that they have to change their diet and their regimen
Right.
in order for it to work, and so they don't
Right.
get the results they want.
Right.
Yeah, even to
And
that
some
point.
of it's a lot of it is lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've even heard people say, like when it comes to eating pork and things of that nature, which we know the pig is a greasy animal, a greasy one.
Mm-hmm.
They will say, well, God made everything good. Everything that God made is good on this planet. And I'm like, yeah, everything that God made is good, but everything is not meant to eat. So just like you have vegetables that grow in the ground, you have poison ivy that grow there too. And that don't mean it's okay to eat poison ivy.
Right.
Everything is not meant to eat.
Yeah.
So everything may have a function,
Mm-hmm.
but everything is not meant to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, even to the point where Shelley was saying with the get quick thing. But
Microwave mindset.
just think
Mm,
about,
yes.
well, just think about like, for the longest a lot of people were having a gastric sleeve and a gastric bypass, but now look at them now. They, because they didn't change, so it was good, but if you don't change your habits and your mental, your eating, your exercising, and all that stuff, it
Or
will
even,
reverse.
yeah. And not just your mental, but even your emotional attachment to food. If there is an emotional attachment there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of that is attached to your hair. So I'm very interested to see your hormones, your eating habits, and all that kind of stuff that affects your hair. And I'm very interested to see with this whole new Ozempic situation what it's going to
Me
do.
too.
I mean,
Girl.
that's probably going to affect the hair industry too,
It's
and what we do, because now there are going to be side effects. Like there's probably going to be almost like postpartum shedding and things, because even when you go through the gastric sleeve, one of the side effects, they tell you you're
hair
probably
loss.
hair loss.
Hair loss.
So
Yep.
these are all things that are
And you know
connected
what?
to have conversations about.
And you know what? The thing is, I know they have to do all of they have to test these they have to test medicines for years before they can put it on the market. And of course they tested Ozempic. It went through the whole testing process as well, but that's for people with diabetes. But for people who don't have diabetes, my thing is, what is going to happen when you're taking a medication for diabetes and you don't even have diabetes? You're using it as a weight loss supplement. And I'm just like you, when these quick remedies come up on the market and pharmaceuticals sell it because it's been approved for sale, because it doesn't necessarily hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
but they're pushing it because of the money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what's going to happen within the next 10 years. Because every medication on the market, when I tell you every medication has a side effect. It may be subtle, and then it may be something very huge. But every medication has a side effect because it's foreign to the body. It's artificial. It's an artificial fix. So if it was just herbs, that would be a different story. And take that in moderation. But because this is an artificial chemical, man-made chemical that you're putting in your body is fighting it, and something is gonna suffer.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen within the next 10 years, what stories will we be listening to because of this Ozempic and things like it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh,
And imagine where couldn't you have just did a lifestyle change? Couldn't you have just exercised, ate right, and did some things in moderation? You probably wouldn't be on that blood pressure medications. You probably would have, maybe you might still have diabetes, but it might not be so bad to the point that you need such a strong dosage of medication, or you would even have that body you want. Just get active. Stop looking for that quick result, that microwave, like you said.
Microwave
And
mindset.
But people run from responsibility. No one wants to be responsible anymore, not even for themselves. So if they can find an easy way to do it, why wouldn't they?
Big. That's big. That's big. And we used to not be that type of society. And especially, oh God, I hope this don't bite come to bite me in the butt in the future. But especially black people. We were the type of people that dealt with things head on if it was a way to do that. Our parents, our grandmamas, big mama will hold us accountable and say, girl, you ain't got no business. Why don't you just do this? You're just lazy. You know what I'm saying? But now everything you got to be politically correct. You got to be inclusive. You don't want to offend anybody. You call somebody lazy, they ready to jump off of a bridge. I mean, the people are so sensitive these days. It's
And
like,
you also got to think that pharma steered us away from the holistic forms of medicine that our grandmothers and ancestors left for us, and
yeah,
deemed it unnatural, witchcraft, or it didn't work just for the profit. So
yeah,
too many of us, we get too much, like we always say on every show, outside influences on the quick, the medicine, things like that, and we don't go to the holistic ways that we know work for us for thousands of years.
and we got to get back to that. We
Yeah.
got to get
yeah,
back to that. We need to
we,
have those conversations.
we've lost our way. We have become. Listen, I have a lot of foreign friends, and I always ask them, how do y'all see Americans from the outside looking in? How do you see American? Be honest.
Hmm.
This African man told me that Americans, even Black Americans, outside of the world, they don't, when they look at a Black person in America, we're just American to them. We're not a Black American or a white American. They just see us as American. But in America, we Black and white Americans. But
Hmm.
he told me, he said, Americans are like the children of wealthy white men. A
Ooh.
whole bunch of Paris Hiltons running around
Ooh.
complaining about this, complaining about that, and they have it good and not taking advantage of the situation. Like spoiled, rotten children. That's how he said he sees Americans, spoiled, rotten children. And when you think about it, who runs the country? White men. We are, although we have our issues here as blacks, from the outside looking in, we are the children of rich white men.
Yeah, because they steered us from who we are, and we
Yeah,
haven't even accepted the fact that we're
yep,
genetically, chemically different from every other creature on the planet. We have
yeah,
our
yep,
own everything, so we haven't even accepted that to even begin to
yep,
work on ourselves because we're
yep.
still accepting products or advice from people who are not us and believing in it that we're all the same and we're not all the same.
Yeah,
Right.
and so we've become those adopted children. We really have because once upon a time, I remember and this is something it's not minute, but do you remember when you would hear white kids talk back to their mom in the grocery store, like, shut up, mom.
Hmm.
Now our kids are doing it.
Because they know we
When
can't get them. We can't not hit
so
them.
this
Don't get it twisted.
Because we used to be able to get disciplined.
so my point is we're starting to mimic the ways. We're starting to mimic the ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know though, because if I call my mom, I tried her one time, and this is as a 30-something-year-old woman, I tried it. I said, Kim. She said, excuse me? I said, wait, never mind.
We'll play that. We'll
And a
play that.
lot of us still do it because my kids are grown. They're in their late 20s and 30s. They still won't cuss around an adult. And times even if we sitting around chilling, playing games, whatever, and they slip up, I don't say nothing. They'll be like, "Oops, sorry, Dad," and I'll be like,
Exactly.
and I'll have friends around. They'll be like, "Your kid can't cuss." I'm like, "No,
No, no,
I'm still Dad.
No.
I don't care if
no.
they're 30, what they is. The rules is the rules. It doesn't change because you grown. Those are our rules. So we
I
just
feel
don't
like
have that.
I just feel like I met my parents now, like at 38, 39. Like,
Mhm.
oh, y'all are human. Like now I
Mhm.
can see you. Like you'll be yourself in front of me more. Like
that.
one Thanksgiving, my parents were drinking and playing dominoes, and I was like, "Who are you people? Y'all play dominoes? Like
Because
I don't
remember
know
growing
these."
up, the kids had to leave when it was adult time. The kids
Yeah.
had to leave, so they didn't know the parents was playing dominoes, having a drink, whatever it was, until you got older, and then you got to come in the adult room, and it's like, oh, okay, so y'all been,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what?
And you keep a child environment. When you have a family, you keep the family environment a family environment. When it's time
Yep.
for the adults to do what the adults do, I ship my kids to the other side of town.
that's
There you
right.
go. There
They was
you
at my
go.
mama's house.
Okay.
Yes.
In
Yep.
fact,
So
that just made me think of a scene. I don't know if y'all seen that show Forever with it's on Netflix. It's a cute little love story, little teenage black couple, which the young man Michael Cooper, that's one of my girlfriend's nephews. So I'm so proud to be watching him on that show. But they had a scene where he walked in where his mom ended up smoking weed and stuff. He like, wait a minute, I didn't know you smoke. And she trying to hide it, but by that time it's too
you ain't supposed to know, because if you know I smoke weed, then I'm teaching you how to do it.
And like she said, even mom grown was like still trying to hide it. Like the rules still apply. You're gonna see me in my parenting form until the day one of us pass.
exactly. And you know what? It's so funny because last year for my birthday, I invited, and it was because it was a bunch of us, and I invited my youngest out. He like, I'm not going to no club with you. But it wasn't even a club. It was just like a little lounge thing. But he was like, yeah, no, I'm straight.
Now I
I
will
mean,
say, now I do hang out with my parents, and I always tell everybody, like my dad, that's my best friend. But even still, like there's certain things he's not gonna say or do in front of me. But I mean, they're my homies now.
yeah, no,
Well, I'm
he'll
gonna tell
hang
you,
out with me, just not there. It's a place here called Shirley, have you ever gone to Chicago Pizza or the patio
And Smyrna,
in Smyrna?
yeah, Smyrna.
Man, I went there with him one day on a little my homegirl was in town, so I used that as a reason for us to go so she could go and he could go because I wanted him to check it out. But at the same time, he sat there with this unit on his face the whole time. Coley, you know him. And so he don't say much, but he'll Leo and he just sit back and observe. We got home. He said, look, we can't go there again. We can't go to no place like that ever again. I'm sitting here like, So mommy son activities are limited to cute little family things.
but
Little
it's supposed to. That's how it's
I
supposed
know,
to
I
be.
know, but I just thought, just the vibe, the music. We sitting outside eating pizza, but the little girls started getting a little ratchet. You seeing butt cheeks, and they had their little hookahs and all that stuff. So I guess that's more of a spot for him with
He didn't understand it because he still remember when he was a kid. That wasn't even.
No, but here's the thing. He understood. That's why he didn't want to be there. He still has that same respect for Tammy. Tammy, the one who didn't get it.
Okay, so he was being polite, like what in his mind?
Yeah,
He's
like
like,
Mama, this ain't the place for us.
I can't do what I want to do because I'm in front of my mama.
Yeah, he's
right.
like, Mama, this ain't the place for us.
Well, you know what? I think I more so was trying to get him there. So he like, hey, this is a cool little spot. So when you not with me, you and your boys want somewhere to go. This is where y'all want to go. But I just thought maybe sitting outside, we were good. But yeah, he told me no. Yeah. Y'all, I don't know if I
Go
never.
to the other side of the building. That's all he need to do. Just, Mom, I'll be right back. It's
No, he's sitting there, and this guy I know up there, he's like, yeah, he just sitting there looking, it's like, okay, won't be bringing him here again, but yeah, so say that again,
He's
Shelly.
waiting to see what you about to do. He just like, probably looking at you like, go on, let it on now. Let daddy see who you really are.
Girl, listen, man, Shelly, listen, I'm telling you, my god sister running joke, like you know that's your daddy, right? Your son, like my son is like, yeah, straight up, that's my daddy. So look, you right, you right. Okay, so Kia, what's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
biggest lesson? Oh, y'all know what? Hold on, back up, Scott. Girl, look, when y'all was talking about the old age, remember that hairdresser I was talking about before? Girl, she's the reason I have alopecia. Girl, she will put the chemicals in your hair, then do these updos and stick these bobby pins in your hair. And then so you keep the updo up for maybe a week or two. Then when you wash it down, you smelling the perm chemical. So she ain't rinsed the hair out good and put this. So that's why I
What?
look, that's the story. Look, that's the story of my alopecia right there. So I got a nice little bald spot in my head. And the only thing that saved me, because I have a girlfriend that is literally practically bald right now because of this lady. She'll have like literally a couple of strands of long hair, but she's pretty much bald. But what the thing I did different, I would get a perm like every 3 months. She was getting like a perm every 4 to 6 weeks. So you know, and if that stuff ain't rinsing out, so yeah, so she
But
has it a
here's my
lot worse because
thing. There's a
my hair is,
there's neutralizing shampoo that she's supposed to be using to
well, she
stop the
don't
chemical
use,
process of the relaxer. Was she
well,
not using
I can't say what she was using. I just know because I recall date the person I was dating one time around that time, and he literally saw me pulling long strands of hair out my head when I took that updo down.
But you know
And
your
so
hair,
like it's so crazy because my hair is thick all the way around, but up here in the top, it's a whole bald spot. It's a whole thing. What
and
you
your
getting
hair
ready
is
to
a
say?
part of your nervous system, and a lot of us didn't learn that till later. So whether you rinsing out, neutralizing it, it still has its effect during the process of doing it because it's a part of you. It's not just we don't
Yeah,
just
and you're
have
still absorbing
our
it
hair.
into
Our hair is ours. It's us. It's a part of
your.
us.
Yeah,
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 that's true. And
Mhm.
so
yeah.
look, I've made wigs a part of me. Okay. So look, I'm the old woman that y'all. Well, I ain't old. I'm like wine. I'm getting better with time. I'm aging in reverse.
it?
Okay.
Oh, oh.
Know
Nice.
that.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter
The
the
juice, baby.
juice.
Okay. So Kia, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned about health, both physical and emotional, through your own journey and the women you serve?
Um, it's all tied together. You have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body, who you
Mm.
surround yourself with,
Mm.
um, your energy, your stress levels. All of it's connected, and it affects you. If we could just get back to the basics and eat right, that would help our hormones, exercise, that would help our dopamine levels. Like there's just so many natural ways that we can help our health, and we just go to the easiest thing. And
Hmm.
yeah, and now that I'm, getting a little bit older, I'm starting to be more observant. Like, okay, let me go for this vitamin. Let me go for ashwagandha instead of going for wine. Like before, I want to have a glass of wine after work every night, and that's not healthy. And
Not at all. Not
your
at
skin
all.
Well,
patterns.
oh, pause. What do y'all
Not at
mean? Because
all.
I was always told red wine, a glass of red wine is good for women.
The reason they tell you that is because the reason they tell you that the only reason red wine can be considered healthy is because the color in it.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Yes, the coloring comes from the berry that the red wine is made from. And so in the skin of that berry is a particular color, and that color has different it has anti-aging products, anti-aging vitamins, minerals, and things like that in the skin of the berry. Any dark berry that you see, grape, blackberries, blueberries, even purple cabbage. Those purple colors and those dark colors that come with natural foods, there is a chemical in that has I mean it has an anti-aging product in it.
Yeah,
I keep
anti.
saying product, I don't mean product, but an anti-aging chemical in it. And it's
Yeah.
very, very potent. It's very potent. So when you take those berries or grapes and you make the wine, that's what you're getting. And so that's why they're saying it's good for you to drink it. But when they really should be saying you need to eat blackberries, blueberries, or grapes.
Right.
That's really what they need to be telling you instead of encouraging the wine, because they're now saying with all the studies, and they've never said this before, and maybe because they were afraid of a lawsuit, but even the medical books are now saying that alcohol is a poison to the body. They never have said that before, but now they're finally coming out saying alcohol is a poison to the brain. It's poison to all organs, and
Mm,
you even hear some doctors now saying just don't drink.
yeah,
Used
Really?
to be a point in time when doctors would not say that,
yeah.
but you have some doctors, there's a community of doctors that are advising their patients not to drink at all.
Yeah, alcohol slows digestion. So if you imagine every night after work you want to have a vodka or you want to have a glass of wine and you just finished eating, and we do all, like, our body refuels itself and it cleanses and it gets rid of all the toxins while we sleep. So if you have that glass of wine, it slows your digestion. We're supposed to, first thing we wake up in the morning, you're supposed to be going to the restroom. But now you're not going to the restroom as much, and you do that every night. So you cut your digestion in half, so stuff is not moving through you like it should. So now you have all those toxins, it's stuck in your midsection, and you basically just, yeah, you got toxins in your body and your body's all jacked up.
Wow. And you know what? Here, look, I'm gonna give you guys a little something that I learned of recently. It's called the castor oil pack. And what you do is you want to get like an organic cloth or something like that and soak it in castor oil
Cheesecloth.
and put it on your lungs
Mm,
and put like compost plastic on top of that and put a hot water bottle or bag on it and sit for like 45 minutes. Do
mhm,
that a couple times a week and that detoxifies the liver. Because I
mm.
You
know,
said put it on your lungs or put it on your liver?
thank you, your liver. Thank you.
Yes.
I said it
Yes.
wrong, your liver. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, put it on your liver and sit, like 45 minutes a couple days a week. And that helps detoxify your liver.
And it really works. It really works. It's an
Yeah.
old time remedy. It really, really works. And you
Mm.
can put it on your lungs. If you have a cold or the flu, you can definitely put it on your lungs and it will decrease the phlegm. It'll thin the secretions in your lungs and decrease the phlegm and open up your lungs and help you breathe.
I wish I would have
Mm.
known that last week when I
And it
had
really, really
bronchitis.
works.
I was down with
It really
bronchitis
works.
last week. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh wow, I love this. Okay, so um Kia, for women over 30 and feeling disconnected from their bodies or confidence, what advice would you give them to start feeling strong again?
Journaling, meditation, mindfulness. Just take some time, like wherever you can escape. Go for a 30-minute walk, 20-minute walk. Just check out. If you need to listen to an audio book, some type of meditation, like even just listening to music. I mean, make sure you're listening to something good. But sometimes we just got to slow the brain down and just get back to ourselves. And yeah, definitely do some journaling. And there's nothing wrong with therapy either.
Come on.
But what do y'all think about this? You said therapy, and this is just a question. There's
Okay.
many different styles of therapy.
Mhm.
There's different styles. You have you have some therapists. Well, what do you think? And what do you think? And they will what do you think you to death?
I don't think it's
Seriously.
productive, but I don't
You
think
my
that's
therapist
productive
will tell me,
somebody.
okay, Teddy LaBelle.
Sometimes therapists can help coddle your bull crap. Some. You really have to you really have to interview your therapist and
Mm-hmm.
find out their style, because they can coddle your bull crap instead of holding you accountable for stuff that you caused bad, let's say there's some turmoil in your relationships.
Mhm.
Instead of trying to dig at both sides, they really some coddle your bad behavior,
Mm.
and some do not hold their clients accountable. And
Mm-mm.
Okay.
me and my friend was having a conversation about that, and she said, yeah, she said, and she was telling me that that's her counselor. Her counselor really does not. She said they really give you. She said her counselor gives her excuses for
I
her
know
bad
some I
behavior.
hear like to just give you prescriptions. I hear a lot of
Well,
them
you're
do
talking
that.
about psychology. You're talking
Oh,
about
okay.
psychiatrists.
Okay. Okay.
You're
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
psychiatrists. But she said her counselor really gives her excuses. And so when she gives her an excuse, she also though tries to help her find a better way of dealing with things. But she doesn't hold her accountable. She'll just give her an excuse for behavior, and then try to help her find a better way to deal with whatever the situation is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Instead of, if you just said no, you caused this situation because you A, B, C, and D. Instead of
Hmm.
correcting her behavior,
Mm.
she'll give it an excuse and then help her figure out another way
Mhm.
to solve the problem. Do y'all
That
understand what I'm saying?
that
So I'm
almost
just
sounds
saying,
like
you
a
really,
reason to keep a person coming back to me. That's what that sounds like to me.
so you really need to
Because
interview
you're
your
not really trying to
counselor.
get them a solution. You just really trying to keep them coming. What you was
I
somebody
would
was
say
getting
we're in a society now where, like we said, everybody is sensitive and easily offended. So now even therapists have to be careful
Yes,
what they say to you, because if they scar you or trigger something, then they're liable for your well
that's it.
and seek them for help.
That's it. That's it.
well.
Man, my
That's
therapist
it.
will put up a mirror in a heartbeat, and she'll be like, "Now, did that make sense to you? Now, was that?"
That's a good
That's a
therapist.
good therapist.
That's a
Exactly.
good therapist. So you have to interview your therapist and ask them, listen, if I ask you a question, will you help me to see the truth in it?
Yep.
But
We
I also, sorry to cut you off. When they ask you, "What do you think? What do you think?" over and over, it's supposed to unlock you at a depth you can't reach on your own to get the source of it out. And I think now they're so accustomed to it that they made that a part of it. Like, that's kind of the easy therapist way out. So what do you think?
Just keep
And
asking questions.
yeah,
Yep.
I ask you a question, definitely make my little $175, and
Yeah, no,
I
no.
still follow the guidelines.
But you
Yeah.
know what? Even to the point of accountability and trying to help people for it. So I'm gonna tell y'all something I did, but it bad, good, indifferent, whatever. So I saw because I have a heart to help people, and I want people to just be aware. So somebody I was listening to this meditation, and this person stranger, total stranger, don't know the person. Oh, the meditation was so good. I'm always feeling sad. I'm always feeling hopeless, this, that, and the other. So I tried to offer words of encouragement. So my words of encouragement was, you know, be mindful of, when you're saying you're feeling sad all the time, and you're feeling there was another thing, and because and this is only guided meditation, so this person has to know about the law of attraction. I said, because law of attraction is going to give you more of that if that's what you're saying, if that's what you're speaking. Do y'all know I got comments? Oh, that didn't help. You're trying to tell them to operate in fear and tell them not to be in touch with their feelings. And I'm sitting here, I said, okay. Oh, and also in the comment I put, and if you're feeling this way, there's an indication that there's something wrong. So I suggest talking to a therapist. No, I said seeking help. I suggest seeking help to get to the root of the matter. So I'm trying to give little gems and nuggets, and I'm being told, oh, people need to be able to feel how they feel. But this person says
Make no sense.
always. So if I guess always, that means they've been sitting there for a minute. And so if you don't try to give them something to get out of there, they're gonna be down the road years later. Oh, I feel sad all the time, and no, there's no progress in that. There's no victory in that. There's no elevation, vibrational changes in that. That is a stuck low vibrational frequency. Anybody want to comment on that?
well, you know what I'm trying to honestly pick up when I hear stuff like that, because I am a solution oriented type person. Now, just because I say that don't mean that I'm perfect. My solutions can be very wrong sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm always right. So I'm not saying that to say, listen to me and look at me.
Mhm.
That's just how my mind works. If there's a problem, I'll say, well, let's try it. That's just, and I could be wrong, but that's just how it works. So just want to say, put that out there. But so now I'm learning if I hear that, instead of saying, well, why don't you try this or why don't you try it? I'll say, well, do you want to know how what I think about it? Because some people just want to lay in that mess. They just want
Right.
to
And
let they just want to stay there.
that's what I was getting
Some
from the
people
comment.
some
Yeah.
people could just be venting. Some people just want to stay there, and then some people do want a solution. So when people say stuff like that, my question is, I'm trying to now say, well, do you want to know what I think, or are you searching for a solution? And if they say no, I'm just venting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. And
Hmm.
I really try not to offer advice when not asked for. That had been my motto, but I've been told my throat chakra is wide open. So when some things I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Because
That's not a bad thing. That's not bad because see, God speaks through people. How else are other people to look? We're a community. Where else do we get information from?
It's
each
not from
other
us, yeah.
It's
and of
not from
course
each
our
other.
inner being and all that.
Of,
But
of
yeah,
course, but how do we help each other? It has to come from someone.
absolutely.
We people run the world. People run this, so it has to come from us. So I mean, that's not a bad thing. The Gabby had the nerve to tell me I don't something about unsolicited advice. Listen, I'm your mama for a lifetime. Okay, I'm your mama for a lifetime. So with me, that's not unsolicited advice. That's guidance from a mother.
Period.
Mhm.
Period.
Period.
That part.
Guidance from a mother.
That
And you're gonna get it if I feel like if God has led me to say something to you as the one who gave birth to you,
part.
that's just what you go get. So but
Exactly.
anyway,
Exactly. All right.
Love
So
you.
someone put in the comment to what I was saying. Absolutely. You speak that negativity over yourself, you're going to experience more of that negative feeling. We have to
Yeah.
be mindful of the words we speak. And thank you for that. Because I mean, ultimately I was kind of feeling they was really just wanting people to feel sorry for them and be in that pity party. But
yeah,
yeah. Look, Cola, this is to you. Yes, Cola. One expression is do you want help, hurt, heard, or hug?
Mm.
So, I mean,
That's
hey,
that is
that
a good one.
that
That's
is a
good.
good one. All
Yeah.
right, so the last question I have for you, Kia. What does wellness mean to you today? And how has your definition evolved over time as an entrepreneur, stylist, and now a fitness leader?
Before I just saw wellness as, you're going to the gym and, you exercise and you might eat right. You might be vegan, you might be vegetarian. Now I'm seeing it from a whole body, from your mindset to your inside. So it's not just about what you eat, it's about the energy you attract. It's about how you speak to yourself because life and death is in the power of the tongue. So it's mind, body, spirit, whole situation. Now I don't just see being healthy about just your physical and what you look like, but more so what is your state of mind? Are you happy? And yeah, so it's an overall inside and outside now.
And Cola or Shelly, what would you say to a question like that? How has yours evolved over time?
Mm, I'm gonna just say for me, wellness is pretty much everything she said. It's not just physical health or even like going to the gym, but it definitely is what you tell yourself and your environment. Your environment is almost everything. You only see what you look at, so you have to pay attention to what you're looking at and what's most important to you. But for me personally, what I decided to do, and this was years ago, was I had to understand the science behind everything. Like, so if they say
Mm,
don't eat meat, why not? What did it do to the body? How did it affect the body? Or if they say alcohol is fine to drink a day, what makes you say that's good versus what makes you think is bad? So I'm more into the science of it, and I don't care about the leaves and the branches in the trunk. I want to know what the root is. What's going on underneath that they're not telling us. So that's been my journey, and I think here at 52, it has helped me a lot in becoming just better overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I like
That's important for a black male to get that. That's so important because there's so many of our men that they just think that they can go on forever without taking care of themselves.
I don't gotta go to the
And
Actually,
doctor. I don't gotta eat right.
yeah, and what it is, they've accepted the condition. So I have a lot of
Mhm.
friends that might be on this medicine, that medicine, and it's just normal. That's just life. I just gotta go to the doctor, said take the medicine. But why are you on this medicine? Like, you know, is it what you eating? Is it where you at? Can it be your environment? Like, there's a reason you're on this medicine. It ain't your body just picked the time to get sick. What caused you to be sick? Did 20 years ago? Did 10 years ago? There's something that led up to that. And too many people today just accept it because it's more, I don't want to use the word sick. It's more people not health conscious than it is, you know, that care about their health. So if I could find a larger group that doesn't care and we're all like this, it's easier to go over there and sit with them and we're all great.
Well, two things to that point.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier in psycho cybernetics. If you telling yourself that you gonna be sick or you old, you manifesting that.
That
Manifesting
part.
that. And when it comes to like being around the people or the environment, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how do you want to live? Do you want if you looking at a bunch of broke down people, is that how you really want to be? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
ain't
But
nothing
they're
sexy.
okay with it because we all broke down together.
No,
So
man,
so
come
long as we
on,
can discuss the
man.
same
I'm the
problem,
people you hang around most.
yeah, as long as we can discuss the same problem, it's no longer a problem. If everybody do that, and
So
no,
we've
it's
normalized dysfunction.
yeah, no, everyone
No,
Ooh,
does it.
see,
Your circle does, and you might have a large circle, but trust me, that's not everybody.
no,
yeah.
and see, and it also goes back to the word used earlier, attraction. You're attracting your tribe. You're attracting these people. So if you're starting to operate in that wellness mindset, you eventually are going to attract more people that you can, that operates in that same space, that are focused on their wellness and their well-being and helping one another and being their brothers and sisters keeper. You attract that. And see, that's what people keep, they, because it wasn't taught to us, our outside world is a
and it's
reflection
because
of
they don't know. The generations before us
our,
don't
right.
know.
Well, that's why I said it wasn't taught to us. It wasn't
Yeah.
taught to us. Look, a lot of things was taught to us that's being made aware to us now. Listen, I am not, look, Cola, you said something that might bite you, but this gonna probably bite me. I am not a fan of social media. I'm
Mhm.
not. But
Yeah.
I know in today's time, you got to be a part of social media
Yeah.
because I don't care to keep up with everything that's going on in everybody's life.
I don't
Especially
care.
a life that don't affect you.
That part.
It's annoying. I don't care what you ate for lunch today.
Or I don't care what the rapper did. Like that's their life. That ain't my life. I've always said if
Bitch.
I'm the smartest person in the room, or if I'm on the same level as everybody in the room, you in the wrong
You're
room.
in the wrong
I
room.
need to be where I can see progress. Like I want to be like them. So let me go hang
That
with
part.
them, and until I get there, then I'll find another group to hang with. And my friends in the past, it's nothing personal, but everybody can't go on this journey.
Ooh,
No.
that I have a question for you guys. How do you feel when you get to that level? Because I recently got there and I didn't know how to
It's hard.
explain to my
It's
friends or
hard.
family. I just went away. And what do you do?
It
How
ain't,
do
it
I?
ain't nothing you could do. You just have to accept where you're
It's
going.
hard.
And like it not only is it hard, it hurts because it's like, dang, them is my people. But if you want more, I think what it is, you have to understand that where you're going, it'll be a new set.
That's what I was waiting for y'all to finish
Yeah,
Well,
talking.
it's not just there.
You
It's
gonna
not
get
just even about finding. It's not about a new set. It's not even about when you said new set to me. That's an indication of, oh, I might be lonely.
no,
So
no,
it's not.
I
friends
wasn't thinking
that
that.
you got to have the same interest,
It's
so you'll bond with them
of
equally as
course
you did the ones you bonded.
get it, like-minded people. But I think for me, listen, I am a Taurus. And I mean, I don't truly believe in signs 100%, but there's some similarities.
There are
And
similarities.
a Taurus is one of the most loyal signs out there. And so for me, when I have had to move on, it ain't about finding other people. It's about letting go of that. Like, I love them. We like this. I can't like, how do I, it hurts me to let what we have go, even though they're not good for me. I see that we're now clashing because we're on two different pages. Now that I've grown, they still doing A, B, C, and D, and I'm just not there anymore. So they're having a conversation about this, and I'm looking like, but why are you doing that? So they think I'm judging them, and I'm not judging. I just want you to do better. But because I'm in a new place, don't mean they ready to be in a new space. So it's just it hurts bad, and I battle that with a friend that I had for years. And in my mind, although we talk when we see each other, that's about it, but I'm still always in my mind trying to figure out how can I make this work with my friend without totally leaving them.
But you have to also remember, like I said, life is what you look at. So if you're a Taurus and you're so loyal, you got to be loyal to you first.
True, that is true,
That
Ooh,
would be
that's
the
that
only
mirror.
focus. I
and
don't know.
that's balance. Now that's balance right there. So you're right. That loyal, that I could shift that, work on that shift. You're right about that.
You don't ever
Yeah,
get rid of your friends. I go to the hood every blue moon, and it's like I never left. But I just know that the time and the place, and I could only stay here a minute because I know my weakness. And if I stay here too long, then the dumb stuff will look normal again. So
right.
I'm gonna keep this bond, keep this, and I'll catch y'all later, or I'll turn y'all on to something new, and hopefully you'll gravitate towards it. And if not, like I say, everybody's not here to me. There's a lot of things in life hurt. A lot of
It
people
hurts, girl. So
And
yeah,
that's
it's
right.
hard. It's hard to do.
look
But
at
Cola,
yeah,
even to
that's
what you
all. Cry and get it on out the way. That's all.
right, release. But Cola, even to what you were saying, that becomes a cases of, I mean, like, what do we always say on this show? We've almost been saying this from the very beginning. It's, and y'all know what, we've been doing this for like what, 8 months now. This is time. What you say, Kia? 2025, and like it got somewhere to go. We've been doing
Yeah,
this for like 8 months now. Um, but people make choices, and if those people in your life are making choices that are not conducive to your lifestyle, then guess what? They put you in a position to
Yeah,
make a choice that you got
yeah.
to make for what? Our highest good.
Of course. And
Our
you know, I
highest good.
know all that and I get all that and I do all that, but it
Mhm.
still doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
I'm always trying to figure out an angle. Remember, I told you I'm a solution person. So, and that spills over into everything, even something like that. I'm
Yeah.
still always trying to figure out how can we kind of keep a friendship without me being joined like that, but it's just not gonna
No,
work.
sometimes you got to just go cold turkey. You got to cut the cord
Yeah.
and let it go.
And that just means the friendship wasn't a friendship. If you're not willing to go to something better, what kind of friend are we?
Well, I mean, this person doesn't have to just think you don't have to change for your friends because if you on a certain level and you don't understand on a higher level, that's just where you are.
But you don't never change you. Friendships never change, but their desires, your wants in life change. So we can
Exactly.
be friends on a higher
Yeah.
level. We just gotta
Yeah.
want the same thing. You can still be silly, funny. Some of my friends is reckless, crazy. I understand that when I take them places like I gotta go watch such and such because you know he's gonna show out. But he
Yeah.
still desires to go to a higher place. So when it's about
Right.
business, it's about business. And
yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry. I think I just figured it out after all these time, all these years of me trying to figure it out. I think there's just certain conversations that we can't have because we just automatically going to disagree about it. We cannot have particular conversations, and that's gonna be my line in the sand. If you got to talk
Got
about
to.
this, yeah, then we don't need to be friends because I automatically disagree with this. I don't do this. I'm not in this anymore. And this can't be our conversation. So we're going to have to elevate that conversation.
Yeah. Talk
Boundaries.
That's
smart.
got to be my line in the sand right there. So I can
Talk
still,
related to me and talk normal to you. Like everybody got friends too. Go talk to them about that.
yeah, because I don't agree with that. That's BS. What you talking about? It don't work. It ain't worked. It ain't that. It's stupid. So
Mhm.
we just can't even have that conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
It's
Look,
just certain conversation.
you just
Certain
look.
conversation.
Kia said the salon is like a therapy session. So you just had a whole therapy session and came to your light bulb moment.
That's it. After all this time, all I had, what we're gonna have to agree on is that there are certain conversations that we can't have because we don't have the same lifestyle. I love you still, you love me, but these are we can't talk about this.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. So
Yeah.
somebody put in the chat just went through that with an old roommate from more than 45 years ago. Had to move on. It hurts, but it is very necessary.
Yeah.
So, sometimes in life the hard decisions have to be made. It has to be made. And when you make it, it ain't never easy, but that's just like having those difficult conversations, but that's where the breakthrough is. A lot of times we don't want to have them, but then we can find ourselves, what they say, stuck in sanity, doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, because we don't want to have this uncomfortable, what I'm going to insert, clearing conversation, a conversation that can clear the energy and the space up. We want to act like that elephant is keep that elephant in the room, but you know what,
Yeah.
it's time to move forward. That's what it's about now, moving forward. And I am going to bring this to an end. Kia, girl, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and the wealth of information that you shared, and your little lovely spirit. Thank you so much, beautiful.
Thank you. I enjoyed you all. This has been an amazing conversation. I enjoyed you so much.
Girl, we enjoyed you. We're gonna have to have you back. We're gonna have to have you back. So, but in case people are interested and want to connect with you or desire to have some more information, how can they do that?
You can DM me at, I put my Instagram, it's Styles by Kia Monet, and it's also my Facebook handle. If you need a salon suite and you're in the Conyers or Metro Atlanta area, you can go to Swan Salon Studio. I do have a suite available right now. And if you want to relive or become a cheerleader in your older age, you can go to straightoutaretirement.com. We are meeting this Sunday at 2:30. So all the ways to connect with me.
Nice, 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 nice. And so, Cola, what final words do you have for the people tonight? This
I
was
don't
good.
know. Keep. Yeah, it was a very good conversation. Listen, I learned one thing. When you have a friend a friend's friend who you love, y'all are not on the same page anymore. One way to connect without connecting like you did is just whatever conversations or lifestyles y'all have grown out of or away from, you draw your line in the sand is we just won't have those conversations.
Yep.
And we can have a friend, still keep our friendship intact or when we come together,
Mhm.
but there's certain conversations that we just cannot have because we've grown apart in those ways.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart. Shelly, what final words do you have for the people?
I guess only thing first, apologies for being late. Second, just love yourself enough to want more for yourself. That's where it
Mm.
starts. You have to want more, and you don't want more. I believe God created everyone for a reason. So people that don't want more, I'm fine with it. Be who you want to be, but don't complain when you see others having it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's it. Just
Fact.
love yourself and all that. And I do want to say that unfortunately I have to cut this short. So I want to say thank you all. I'm sorry I'm late, leaving early, but I just had to show up. I already was tardy.
Well, we appreciate you being here, but men's talk is next week, so we
Yeah,
expect you to be
I'll be
here.
on time for that. Miss Kid, thank you again
Thank
for
you,
all that
Shelly.
you do and provide for people, because there's not enough of us out there, and that's part of the problem too. So just thank you again, and reach out to me all your real estate needs. I got a bunch of brand new first time home buyer programs. Catch me
Okay.
at Shelly.solutions on Instagram and all that good stuff. And thank you all, and you know
Pooch pastries.
yeah, Pooch Pastries, um, at Pooch_Pastries for all your dog needs, everything like that. I got a few more ventures coming up that I'm gonna be able to share with y'all in a minute. So, be looking
Okay.
out and all that good stuff. So thank you and good night and all that.
Good night, Shelly.
Nice meeting you, kid.
Thank you as
Uh,
well.
All right.
all right. And so, Kia, your final words for the people as we bring this to a close.
Um, I guess piggybacking on the last of our conversation, I guess we have to not be afraid to choose ourselves, prioritize our own mental health, our own wellness, and draw that line in the sand and don't apologize for it and create those boundaries. And yeah, I mean, we can only elevate.
Listen, and as you were saying that, I'm hearing in my head, and always know that no is a complete sentence.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, people want to say no with, but, and it gives, sometimes you just got to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Just got to
Complete
say
sentence.
no because
That's it. Yeah. Sometimes you can't compromise. You just can't. Yeah.
So yeah, and also everyone, my services, I am a transformational speaker who is also a life coach. So therefore, if you would, I would love to be a part of your event as either a speaker or MC, or help you with a coaching program. You can obtain more information at www.thassawoman.com. So I do have to just say, with much love and gratitude, I thank each and every one of you for being with us as viewers. To my panel, Kia, Cola, I thank you both, because look, we all showed up pretty in pink tonight. So we did the thing, even though it wasn't planned. But oh, look how that came together. So, ladies, I thank you. Thanks, Shelly, for popping in with us. And again, I ask, if you are not part of our community, to support us by subscribing to receive future notifications. Oh, and I wanted to say, I started working on my message for next week that I'm going to put up, because I didn't get it up last week because I was down with bronchitis. And there were some things that were said in this conversation that I know if someone here would be like, oh, she got that from the message last week. Now it's already been pre-recorded. So it's just like a little confirmation thing. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to go up Tuesday, your little mental health moment for the month. And so I also want to ask, give us a thumbs up and or drop us a comment, because we want to hear what you have to say, and also share this with others, because others, I'm sure, will find value in this message. So I leave you all with this: whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. That is by Napoleon Hill, who is the author and writer of Think and Grow Rich. If you're not familiar with that book, I really advise everyone to go out, read it, listen to it, however way you get your information. And so, my words to go with this: just as our guest followed her heart to accomplish her dreams, you too can do so as well. It all starts in your mind. Remember, Law of Attraction 101: thoughts become things. So, no matter how much they try to distract you in this chaotic time that we are in, stay focused, stay focused, stay focused, and stay amazing. Peace, love, and blessings, and have a great night. Good night.
Night.
Look, Cola throwing the deuces at y'all. Deuces.